What is up, everybody? It is Mars07. It is your boy Marshall. And today we're going to be talking about something that I made a video on last year in August. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was August. I think it was July or August. I forgot. I think it was like August 1st of last year. Let me check. Point is, though, today we're going to be talking about something that I experienced at full hand for 9 months straight. As today we are talking about House Bill 1481, aka the phone technology, personal technology ban in schools and yeah, in schools. I saw schools and schools, and classrooms and all that. So yeah, but let's see, when did I upload that video? But August 1st. Yeah, I was right. But today we're gonna be talking about my experience with House Bill 1481. So let me just give y'all some background story to this. But I've just said this, but I don't like talking about politics on this channel. But in this case, I'll let it slide because it's something that directly affected me. But yeah, but I'm gonna say this right now. I am an independent. I don't affiliate with any party at this point. Um, and also I don't live in Texas anymore. So yeah, this is only applies for, te although it's going around other places too. But in this case, it's only for Texas. I'm gonna talk about my experience with House Bill 1481. Uh, I'm pretty sure that's what it was, yeah. But let's just give you some backstory. So, last year, or I think it was 2024, I'm pretty sure, uh, House Bill 1481 timeline. Let's see, House Bill 1481 timeline. So last year, um, a new law was put into place that that basically said that none of the students can use their phones, AirPods technology, anything at school. It was insane. Um, let's see, where is the let's see, but this was, I'm pretty sure, but apparently it's bipartisan is what this was. But this basically back last year. Trying to find it. When was it? When was House Bill 1481 proposed? When was House first brought up? But it was December 2024. This was in the works for a few months before it actually happened. But it was who was the one that made the law? It was Caroline Farrelly. I think it was a younger person. I don't know. But but she's only 27 years old, and she represents the 87th district in the Texas House of Representatives. But just basically, this law was proposed back in 2024, and then took a few months, but the full House passed it. They went through the process of everything, and then the full House passed it in April 2025. So the law wasn't put into place yet because when I was at school, we were at that point we were still allowed to use phones. I didn't even know about this law honestly until after it got passed. And then summer came by, and then June 20th, 2025, a little over a year ago, um, Greg Abbott officially signed the bill into a law, which meant that this law would be taken into place for the starting the 2025-2026 school year. And I'll give you some background information. I just graduated high school, that means I was a senior last year in high school. So this was my last year of school, and then this had to happen. But basically, it's a bell to bell thingy where basically it's a whole day. So this includes like pretty much any personal technology you can think of, like um phones, iPads, computers that are personal, not from the school, school laptops obviously allowed to be used. AirPods, Meta glasses, any gaming systems, I assume as well. Anything that's considered personal communication technology and all that, all banned from schools. And yeah, schools would have to do, and then there were a lot of like disciplinary, plus disciplinary actions, on how this would work, but on how if someone pulled out their phone and all that. But yeah, this lasted like the whole year, and then we officially have gone through it for 1 year. So I'm gonna talk about my experience with the House bill. So I went to a high school. Um, as y'all know, I went to Argyle High School, and it was a really good high school. Honestly, I loved Argyle High School. It was an amazing experience. I'm very thankful I got to go there. But obviously they could not avoid the phone ban because it was a law, or else they would stop receiving state funding at that point or something like that. But obviously we want funding for our school still. But this was weird because before this, we were allowed to use phones in class. Like we even used phones for assignments sometimes. Like we were allowed to use them during lunch. But they didn't have obviously in class we had to put obviously during class we had to put them up. But like after we're done with our work, we were allowed to use them. Like we were allowed to use our AirPods and all that. Like it was going really well. And then the government comes in and just says, no, you can't do that anymore. And like, it definitely was a big change. And I didn't really like it at that point. But yeah, but it was a weird thing. Plus they had some other things, like they changed the lunch schedule so we couldn't see each other anymore. Yeah, but I will say this. Last year was a good school year. I'll rank this second of my high school years. I put it above sophomore year just because sophomore year was still kind of felt weird and way above freshman. Because freshman, it was a good year, but like it was a very weird year transitional wise. But I will admit, junior year was peak for high school for me, honestly. It felt like we had so much freedom and my classes were going really well and all that. It was great. But no phones. This wasn't Argyle's fault by any means, but yeah, but basically we had and they got but basically I sound like I use right now. I'm sorry. Basically, sorry. But what is it? But things were changed. Things definitely changed. It felt different because they changed the lunch schedule because they said the school's too big. I don't know if that's the actual reason. It's probably one of the reasons, but yeah. There's that. So I couldn't see my friends much anymore because I got separated from the lunches from all of them. I ate with these people. I didn't really talk much, but like they were cool. But like I didn't really. It's not like I went deep with them or anything like that. But yeah, no offense, they're great people, obviously. But yeah, but I guess I did have two friends I was very close to there at that table. At least one was there for a while and then he left because he switched lunches. But at one point, a whole school ate lunch at the same time. We're all allowed to eat with friends. It was an hour and 10 minute long lunch. This was only 30 minutes, so it's not like I had much time. But on one hand, it made the schedule a lot more easy to remember, but still, wasn't great. And having no phones definitely meant like I couldn't, it made it even harder to communicate with my friends. And yes, email was an option because I had my school laptop. That's basically the only device I had at that point. Um, but yeah, but what is it? Sorry, I'm trying to figure it out. But like, my friends did not like emailing that much because the thing is, school's allegedly monitoring every single email we send. So. I don't know if they would do every single one, but like it does flag emails if we say something bad. Not that that happened to me or anything like that. But yeah, but it was weird. I talked to Ayush and Darshil sometimes throughout the day through email. So yeah, but it definitely made communication a lot harder because I had to ask my mom but like it made it harder to do some things because like if I need two-step verification to get into something for like an assignment or something like that, I need to pull up my phone. I can't do that because like I was trying to log into my Bridgewater email, which is the college I'm going to, Bridgewater State. But I couldn't do that because I had to do two-step verification, which requires my phone. I couldn't access that. Um, and uh, also it's like I feel like that the phone thing they took honestly it's not the worst thing because I think it is necessary to keep phones like away from learning like to making it like impacting learning in a negative way. Same time though, I feel like if you're done with your assignment, you should be able to use it. But what do I know? Um, but I mean, I guess it did keep people on task a little bit more, although some people still, although the school laptops were still something that people were using. And legit, the technology department at my school, they do a great job with like handling technology, but my God, they were restricting everything on earth on there. And it just got worse and worse and worse throughout the year. It got to a point where we couldn't even access any of YouTube anymore. It was already like restricted YouTube to like a point where like we can only access certain videos. Like it was always on set on child mode. Um, but like they got rid of that. They started off with blocking YouTube Shorts, and then they blocked off all of the YouTube. But like we had Chromebooks by the way, not the greatest thing, but it was fine. But like blocked everything that we used. Like honestly, at that point, I'm not here to criticize the school necessarily. That's not what it's about. But like, I definitely did take away some like resources of like what to do when we were done. So yeah, but it was definitely a weird experience. Because I felt like we were being punished. Almost felt like a punishment, to be honest with you. Like it did feel like we were getting punished in a way. Like we couldn't have our phones out at all, which is that's kind of weird. I mean, yes, I could socialize with more people. We could all socialize with more people, but still, it wasn't. It just I didn't love how I didn't love how strict it was. Like, yes, it gets necessary to restrict phones from classes in ways, but like not to that point though. Seems a little extreme. Like to the point where you can't even use it at all during the school day. Like you take out your phone just if you need to do two-step verification. Oh, you can't do that. It's only for like a time, like you're trying to sign a Google Classroom or something. I don't know. But yeah, but there's that. But like it was a weird experience. But I got through the year with it. I only time I had my phone on was if it accidentally turned on, or if I really, really needed to access something. I would like say like two-step verification, like put in my backpack and all that. That immediately turned back off. Sorry, I'm admitting it. Yeah, but like I will admit, there are a lot of people that broke the law. Like a lot of people just use their phone. A lot. I'm honest. I'll be honest with you. A lot of teachers didn't notice or didn't even care, honestly. Which I mean, that's fine. But like, I didn't take out my phone. I didn't want to because one, I didn't want to risk it, and two, it's like I got other things to do. Like, I think the phone in one so in ways it definitely has I also the house bill definitely had its benefits. Like this is a generation that is addicted to phones, to be fair. Like it's like Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they're very addicted to the phones. Let's be real, like I'm not saying all of us are, but like there is a good chunk of people that like are very addicted to the phones. And it makes people like it changes people for not the greatest. So I mean, yeah, and one thing also did my and not that good with either way the grades would have been fine, but my grades were really good last year. I know senior year, but I know senior year like it's one of more, in my opinion, it's probably the easiest year of high school when it comes to like work. Although I can't be talking because I wasn't taking any honors at AP or credit classes, but it definitely was easy. I only had to take one exam all year. Like it was good. Like I was able to exempt all but one exam. That's both semesters, by the way. Both semesters combined. Yeah, because we can exempt our exams as long as we meet the requirements. As long as like we have a certain amount of abs like two or less absences or three or less cell phone violations. I had zero this year or last year. And yeah. So I mean, at least I had good grades in that cl in the class. Because I mean, what else was I gonna do? I found my way around things. I will admit on my laptop. Like I did stuff on like Google Sheets and all that, like for fun. So Google Docs also. Like the websites that weren't restricted, I found some fun things to do. But yeah, like but it seemed like everything I got restricted. But yeah, but I found my way through it. I was able to power through the year. Because I will admit, it would have probably been easier next year just because the technology would not, because we already know the ban. And I actually heard from someone that it might get stricter next year. We'll see though. But like honestly though, this is coming. This House bill is in light of. Well, I think I don't know if it came before or after, but there's a lot of research that's not the research studies that's saying that that a lot of kids aren't getting as good technology or as good learning as people used to because they rely heavily on technology these days. And then but that was the the guinea pig generation as in like getting tested and all that. And basically like it was it definitely was different than paper. Because I used paper like I really used paper and pencil for like almost all of it. For like almost all my assignments were paper and pencil until I moved to Argyle. Like Mansfield, when I was there at least, was primarily paper and pencil. Like it was pretty standard on like what they use, and it worked out. Like there's a reason why I loved going to school in Mansfield. Obviously, I think Argyle t turned out to be better for me, but like in the long run, like for high school. But Mansfield was great for like the first like 7 years of my life or first few years of my life. But yeah, I guess first 12 years technically. But yeah, but like when I was there, because that's when I still went to school at Jack and all. Like I still had a lot of people. I guess like I had a lot of friends there still. But yeah, but like Mansfield, like even Mansfield, I think they already had like a ban for phones, like at least in like intermediate and elementary, like through like at least for intermediate school and elementary, like back in the day. Because like when I was in elementary school, I didn't even have a phone back then, honestly. But yeah, I got a phone in fifth grade. Yeah. But which was like 8 years ago. But there's that. I will say though, uh, but like I do think that I do think in one way it does cut down technology a bit. And a lot of school districts, including mine, are starting to lean back towards pen and paper, pencil and paper. Like my school district is starting to like restrict on technology, like trying to like cut down technology use for class, which I think will help learning probably. Um, but at the same time, it does definitely like cut definitely does make the technology ban even more. So yeah, but but yeah, they've been doing that. Um, and it might work out. It might work out. We'll see. It's going to be definitely an adjustment considering Argyle is a great school district and it uses technology. It uses it pretty well. But like, considering it's a school that uses technology for the most part, it's going to be a very weird transition for Argyle. And I soon imagine some others are going through it too. But yeah, but I mean, it's going to be weird. That's for sure. And by the way, I don't have to deal with that. I graduated high school, so yeah. Um. Yeah, but there's some good things at the house bill. I'm just saying there's some benefits to it. I'm just saying I wasn't even totally against. Yes, it sounded like it at first, but like I'm not totally against the idea of the house bill. It's just I'm kind of against like how restrictive it is. Like we should still be able to use that at lunch and like passing period, but like yes, class take it away. Like sure, yeah, sure, that's fine, but like at least during passing period and lunch, at least during lunch we should be allowed to use it. It's like I don't know if what the science is behind it, but what do I know? But because I know a lot of I know a few school districts were like not like not like following it properly. Like I know like one of the San Antonio school districts let them use the phones during lunch, and the TEA cut down on that. But yeah, but like some schools followed it more than the others. Like Argyle followed it for I think Argyle followed it pretty decently. There were still people sneaking in, obviously, but like there's some people teachers that didn't even care. I'm not gonna say who because I don't even know which teachers, honestly. I can't even tell which teachers, but but like there were some, but yeah, they had some technology stuff that yeah, but there was some like there were some schools falling up more than others because I literally went into other high schools too during this. Like I went to one of the schools in Denton. I think it was it was Geyer High School. I'm sure they're following the band, but I did see people like walking with AirPods in the hallway and all that. I was like, ah man. That, yeah. But I will say that it wasn't as bad as I thought initially, in some ways. Because I thought at first I couldn't use any type of headphones at all. Like I couldn't use these or anything. Yeah. But this is what people look like a guy. They're like, "Oh, yeah. And I assumed it's connected to their phone, but what do I know? But like there's some schools that are stricter than others. Like some people like our school, my school is using it in the backpack, put in the backpack. Yeah. But which I mean that's fine. But some I don't know if anyone did the so I assume some school districts did the Yonder pockets. Those are something, bro. But yeah, but it's just, what was I saying? But like I was allowed to use, but it was only wireless headphones, which is still a little weird. But I guess during class it's fine. Like when the lecture, like people can listen to music during class, but wired headphones were allowed to be used. So I got myself a pair of wired headphones, and they worked out well for the year. So at least I had that. So that was something I could listen to the podcast. I at least had Spotify on my laptop. Because I could listen to NASCAR weekly podcast and all that. I was able to catch up through it really well. Yeah, and then YouTube when it was still running. Because ironically, senior skip day was the day it got taken off line. And I actually attended my own senior skip day. Just call me weird, but yeah. But it's actually a good skip day that I actually attended because y'all remember Sam. I know I haven't ta I know that what is it? I know I've been kind of like harsh about Sam in the past, but honestly, me and him we haven't talked much. Obviously, we talked for the first time in 5 years that day. Honestly, he seems like he's it seems like everything's good next. Honestly, I will admit I on my part I definitely didn't handle the fallout as maturely as I could have. But honestly, Sam has definitely grown as a person. Yeah, he's doing storm chasing now. Go follow him if you haven't already. Yeah, I literally took down I think I took down that video, but not Sam's live, just because I knew that like I was spreading negativity about a guy I wasn't really that bad in general. Yes, it's just we were in middle school back then. We didn't know better, but still. But but like still, he's not a bad guy. He's a great dude. I talked to him twice before graduations. Yeah. I watch his Storm content sometimes. It's really good. Yeah. Sam, if you're watching, hope you're doing well. Yeah. Anyways, um, yeah, there's that. But yeah, things got restricted. So, yeah, but like it was weird because I couldn't talk to my friends throughout the year because I couldn't talk to them through the phone, couldn't talk to them during the laptop 'cause they didn't want to do laptop for some reason. Yeah, there's that. But like it's just we weren't in any class. I wasn't in any classes or any like lunches with them. It was weird 'cause my schedule was kind of weird last year compared to my other friends. Yeah, it was a good schedule, but yeah. But overall though, the house build band was it was something. But like here's but yeah, but I guess I define my experience enough. But like people are still using wireless headphones, by the way. They got rid of Bluetooth off the Chromebooks. Like, what else? Have wired headphones. That doesn't affect me. Yeah, but like. The first year with the phone ban, it was definitely like a transitional time. It felt weird. It was a transition in that way because we were so used to the same system for a very long time, and taking that away was kind of weird. So yeah, and yeah, but it was kind of weird. Kind of didn't like it throughout the year, but at the same time, it definitely I can see why they did it. I grew more to it as the school year went, but still, I don't love the law. Still, like honestly, I do think for high schoolers at least they should be given more freedom in that way because it does restrict freedom. I will admit, and it does cause people to go crazy on their phone after that. But like, I do think yes, maybe middle school and and below should be restricted just because you can't trust those kids. But no offense in some ways, or some of them at least. But like high school, people are starting to develop into adults. Like you can probably let them use their phones like a little bit. Even just like for like lunch or passing period or whatever. That's fine. Um, yeah, I do think it was a little bit. And bring back just let people use wireless earbuds. Like, what's the difference between wired and wireless? Like you're listening to the exact same thing as long as you're not using your phone. Yeah. And then yeah, but there's that. But that's my experience at House Bill 471. Overall, it definitely changed things. For good and bad, I guess. But at the same time, it definitely felt weird. It took a very long time to get used to it. So, yeah, but I imagine next year will be better for people. People won't be as like protesting about it. I'm sure some people like be whining about it, but like at this point, like next year, like next school year, I'm not in Texas schools anymore, but I'm sure next year people will get more used to it, and yeah, people find more ways around it. We'll see. Maybe one day the House bill will be lifted, but we'll see. I don't know. Or overturned, whatever it is. But you never know. But I mean, it's not my problem anymore. So yeah, but we'll see how it goes for another year. Then maybe I'll come. I can't really give a personal experience, obviously. Yeah, but I feel like going to college is nice to at least have more freedom. Because I will admit, it definitely took away freedom that we all liked. Because I feel like school should at least still be enjoyable for everyone still. Like people should be able to interact, so whether it's through phone or verbal. I feel like people should still interact. But yeah, but I mean, overall, I get a grade of House bill, probably a D. Um, Probably more like a C minus actually. It served its purpose, but at the same time, definitely like had its downsides. Yeah. Anyways, but um, but I mean, we all got through it for a year. In some cases, only 1 year, right? Like me. Yeah, but it has started like the movement of like banning technology out of schools. In a lot of ways, honestly. I think it's probably more. I think honestly, if they could adjust House Bill a little more, like to make it more, give students more freedom, at the same time still like cutting technology, I think then that's probably the best thing. Because you get students what they want, and at the same time you give everyone else what they want. So yeah. Like there's a lot of teachers that didn't even like the phone ban. Like one teacher was like, I never had a problem with phones. I just yeah, but here's that. But I think if they can adjust it to a point where you can use phones not during class time, even if it's during school, then let people use it. Like that's all. I just think that they could probably loosen up a little bit, and then they'll be fine. But I mean, like I said, it's not my problem anymore. I don't have to deal with it. But at the same time, I still have friends that deal with it too. Like I got a lot of people that are still in high school that I know. So yeah. But we'll see what happens. But good luck to everyone next year on surviving it again. Yeah. But I mean, the thing will get easier as people get used to it. Because I mean, one of my teachers made a really good point. It had to happen at some point. It's just a matter of when was going to be complicated because like the first few years would be kind of torturous for people. But yeah, overall, I think people are starting to get more used to it. Yeah. I imagine maybe things will be stricter next year. We'll see. I don't know. But I think if they can just like lay off on some things, like if students earn the right to get their phone, they should get it. That's all. If they didn't, keep their phone away. So yeah. And all press for technology for that matter. Anyways, y'all, thank y'all guys so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Comment down what y'all think of House Bill 1481. Um, and I read every comment on here, so yeah, there's that. Anyways, thank y'all guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day, and goodbye. See you on the next one. Peace.